Try to leave that empty. I'm still dancing with 2 left feet. I can get it. I can get it. Yeah. I'm still dancing with 2 left feet, yeah. But with a little help, I can move on beat. Now I can moonwalk in 2 socks and groove all week. But I can't seem to 2-step, I lose my feet. Now I can shake it, I can shimmy, I can shuffle, I can gritty. You can gritty? I can gritty, you just don't look that pretty. And I can do this little walk too, it goes like this. It goes toe, 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 cross, yeah, that's it. Tell me, baby, what you mean by that? They don't even got it, it just seem like that. Where you think you're going with the jeans like that? Hey, start a little fire, gasoline on that, my bad. Hey, who said I can never move? I just do it through the music. Make the crowd just to check on the acoustics. I can never lose, I ain't never get a goose egg. But I'm still hit a groove with a 2-step. Yes, you know I'm gon' get it there. The way she move her body, yes, you know this what she doing. She don't mess with anybody, nah, not a single person here. Whoa, got a bill, baby, why'd you bring your person here? Keep it on the low, talk to me, yeah. If you wanna go, walk to me, yeah. If so, let's shimmy, 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 yeah. Back it up slow like Tell me, baby, what you mean by that? They don't even got it, it just seem like that. Where you think you're going with the jeans like that? Hey, start a little fire, gasoline on that, my bad. My bad. My bad. Let's do another one.
I'm here, guys. I had to get a drink of water. Too many cheeses and dried cured meats tonight. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. Big day for Blazin'. For me, I got to meet Matt Stagger at a card show randomly. He stopped me and I honestly didn't know right away. And he introduced himself. He's like, it's Stagger. I'm like, oh, and I knew right away. Didn't realize he lived so close to me. He's only like half hour away. I didn't plan on going to the card show either. My wife asked me to run to Lowe's to grab something this morning, which is like a half hour away. And I remembered there was a card show. I was like, yes. She knew right away when I responded yes without any hesitation. Like, yeah, I'll go. She's like, there's something going on, isn't there? I was like, there's a card show that way. I should have probably played it off a little bit better. But yeah. So I got to meet Matt. He picked up a really nice Derek Carr buy. I thought that was pretty cool. If you didn't, I put it on the page. If you didn't get a chance to see it, check it out. That was fun. And I was going to post something when I got home. Like, card shows always rejuvenate me, right? Like, I was telling Jason, like, they honest to God, they get me excited. There was a little kid and his mom who saw me like, hey, you did a card show not too long ago. We bought a bunch of stuff off of you. I was like, yeah. And he was like, we were talking, just like a 6-7-year-old kid, just super pumped about cards. He had a 101 soda. He's like, I found this in my collection. And it was so cool because, like, one of the dealers was like, do you know how much it's worth? I knew the dealer. And I was like, honestly, I don't. But let me reach out to a few people. And we did. We found, like, a good comp for the kid. And it was just cool to see, like, a kid. He didn't want to sell it. He just wanted to know, like, what it was worth. And he just, like, it was cool to see kids in the hobby. And that was something that Don brought up last night, that he'd like to bring his kid on. And whenever you see a kid, and like, the innocence of the hobby is so rare anymore. It was cool to see that. But also, I bought, like, 3 Bills cards for $7, just ones that I don't have. I always like that about card shows because, you know, if you buy them on eBay, you might get them for $1 or $2, but you have to pay for $3 shipping or whatever, or do the envelope that you never know what's going to happen. Cade Johnson for the Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks, going out to Christine. Larry, are you picking a new team yet, or are you rolling with the Browns? I got to know, dude. Are you that loyal? Puka Williams out of 50. I believe he is a Cincinnati Bengal. But yeah, so got to go to the card show. Didn't buy much. Like, there were some good deals to be had. I just didn't pull the trigger because you know who's not? There's no deals on Josh Allen cards right now. There's just not. Yep, this is the Cincinnati Bengals going out to John Stabe. You're rooting against the Browns week 1, Larry? And here's a guy I'm big on this year, Devonta Smith out of 50. There you go. You got your birdies. Philadelphia Eagles, Devonta Smith. But yeah, so the other thing the card show did for me today was got me super, super pumped for the Nationals. Every day it draws closer. Plus, I got an email on the way home. It was like, hey, for your VIP pass, here's, because I bought a VIP pass when they released. We were going to give it away. I forget who won it in a fantasy league, but they decided to go with the $120 credit or something. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jeff Guffey, we got ourselves a Muth Green Muth out of 99, autographs at 10. You're going to go to Carolina for the game and not caught flack for the rest of their life. I believe so. Scott, let me tell you when I think it's acceptable. I think it's acceptable when you're raised a fan of something and then choose in your teenage years to go a different route. I think that's one. Like, oh, my dad, like if my kid was like, my dad was always a Bills fan, so I was a Bills fan. As I got older, I started following this player and I grew, and you're 30 years old now and you've been a fan for like 17 years. You made the swap. Like you were a Bills fan for 13 years and like my son's probably going to be a Cardinals fan. I don't think he will be because he likes it just because it's a bird. That's kind of crazy, Larry. That is nuts. I also think here's another opportunity. If you have only been a fan of a team for so many years and you move, if you move and you're close, like I'm an hour away from Philly and I decide, listen, I've been to like 8 Eagles games. I'm officially an Eagles fan. I don't think there's an age. I think the wrong way to switch is my team has sucked for so long. So now I still like them, but I'm also of this fan because they've won 3. Like, I saw a lot of New England fans over the last 2 decades that aren't New England fans anymore. I'm like, what happened? They're like, oh, I was a Tom Brady fan. I was like, no, you were a fan of championships. Let's just say it what it is. Like, there was nothing Brady did in New England that really made you like Brady except for winning, right? I like Bucks Brady. Bucks Brady's cool. He's a fun guy, right? New England Brady was a freaking wet blanket. He wasn't fun. He wasn't exciting. You like Brady because he was like a funny guy and, or a good sport. You like Brady because he won Super Bowls. But Scott asked a great question, guys. I've given my take. You tell me. When and is it possible to switch? And when can you? When's the cutoff? Look at this. There's Eisman there with a little bit a 2-teamer. So some people I've heard of that. I've heard of, my dad is like a diehard Bills fan, but also roots for the Eagles, and he calls it his NFC team. McCaffrey, Ricky Williams. Let's go ahead, guys. I like this conversation. Give me your takes. When is it okay? Is it okay to have 2 teams? Like, can you have a backup team and be a real fan of your first team? Breece Hall. This is a great conversation. Isaiah Spiller, and there is a Nakobe Dean out of 99. Nakobe Dean. And I've heard a lot of that, Chris. There's another good example. Guys who have a team and then they also follow a player they really like. You have to be a kid to change teams. Like, honestly, so I was a Miami Dolphins fan for 3 years 2 years from the ages of 13 to 15. It was like Ace Ventura came out. Dan Marino was in the movie. I was a huge Jim Carrey fan. There's a David Bell. Thibodeau. Trey McBride. And I had a Dolphins Dan Marino jersey. I had Dan Marino comforter or a Dolphins comforter. It pained my dad. I see probably how much he hated it at the time. Isaiah Spiller out of 49 for the Chargers, and there's a Barkley. All right, so we have a lot of family members that are Steelers fans, so I root for the Steelers as long as it doesn't affect the Bills at all. Like the 1 year the Bills needed to win for the Steelers to get in, I was really rooting for the not only for the Bills to win, but that it would help get the Steelers in. I'm with you, Scott. There are a lot of players I like to follow. Troy Polamalu, Kalafdis for the Chiefs. We got David Bell, Treylon Burks, Brock Purdy, Justin Jefferson, and look at this, Dotson out of Penn State. I got to look this one up. Jahan Dotson. wide receiver for the Washington Commanders. You know what, Scott? It's funny. I know you're joking, but there are people like that. Like, I'll never forget the year Patrick Mahomes like took the world by storm. And I remember walking in my Walmart and I saw like dudes with Chiefs shirts on. It was like playoff time, and like I saw like a young kid with a Chiefs lanyard. I'm like, I wanted to beat him across the head with his keys. I'm like, stop this. You don't get to pick the Chiefs now. Matt Corral. Oops, that goes over here. Matt Corral. That stuff does bother me, but I get like in a player. Mechie, Kenneth Walker, Desmond Ritter. There's a Thibodeau Silver, Aiden Hutchinson, and Mateo Durant. You know what? And that kind of works, James. You know why? Because they're different conferences too. So you could actually have your favorite teams play each other. I don't think there's anything wrong with having an AFC and an NFC team at all. Like, you're going to have a number one, right? Pittsburgh Steelers right here. I'm with you, yeah. I feel like that's a lot of NBA players, Chris, or NBA fans. They root for players, not teams. Screw the Steelers. I love Larry's, I love Larry. I follow him on the message boards a little bit, or the threads. And I love that Larry is relentless. It doesn't matter that, like, they're paying Baker like $100 million to play against them, and they're paying there we got a Dotson out of 149, and they're paying Watson to probably go to prison for a little bit, and they're paying and they're gonna roll with Jacoby Brissett. He's still talking shit on every team. He gives 0 Fs. Carson Strong out of 99 going out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at this, Larry. I may be talking shit, but you're getting hits. I saw John at the card show today too. John Kersher was set up at the card show. Got to see another member today. So I saw 2 members of the group today. Brian Urlacher. There's a Kenny Pickett. Brian Robinson. Tyler Goodson out of 149. There is a Desmond Ritter. Nick Bosa. Alex Smith was talking about him today with Matt. And there we go. Isaiah Spiller out of 199. This is going to go to the Chargers. Chargers going out too. Who's got those Chargers? Bob Riley. All right, there's another good example. So like following their farm teams and stuff. Scott, that's sad, man. You really got to make your way to National sometime. I'm with you, Larry. I like it. I like that about you. You're like, I give 0 Fs. I'm still talking shit. All right, last box mojo. We will do 2 $5 hitless credits tonight, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. We'll do something tomorrow. I may have a baseball break tomorrow. I got some Trinity in, but man, I just been the card show today. I looked at it's crazy. I actually looked at a bunch of football cards today. I didn't just look at the expensive ones. I was going through 10 for $1 boxes, dollar boxes, just looking for some unique things. I found some stuff. It was cool. It was nice to be at the show. I didn't want to spend more than an hour. That was part of it. Here we go. First up, Nate Eskridge for the Seahawks, going out to Christine with the lime green swatch. Look at you, man. I wish I could join you guys. A guys golf vacay. I love it, man. Good for you guys. Here we go. A little waddle action out of 299. Miami going out to the Miami Dolphins is going to be Ben Hitchcock. Yeah, Larry, it was kind of weird they switched that. John, I was good. You know what? I did regret not buying some of those Derek Carrs. I had looked at a few. And, hey, here we go. Out of 25, speaking of the Bucks Eisman, James' second team, but this is going to go out to Special K Stan. I believe that's going to be a game used from the looks of it. It is player used, not game used, but a Chris Godwin 12 out of 25 for the Bucks, going out to Stan K. Nice card there. And here we go. Going out to the Minnesota Vikings for Bob Riley. Gonna be booklet. Kene Nwangwu. It was cool. Like, I haven't set. Every time I go to a card show, I'm so busy if I'm setting up. I very rarely went and like looked. But today I actually I didn't take my kid with me. I wasn't like on a time crunch. I did set myself an hour, but not a time crunch. It's like I was like, I'm gonna spend about an hour. And it was nice to really look at cards today. Like, I'm excited for the National. I'm with you, Scott. Listen, I get it, Scott. If it wasn't driving distance, I may not be going this year because of the way flights are. Plus, I'm already going to be spending flights to go out to LA. Dotson out of 149. Goodson out of 149. Thibodeau with the Prism, a Spiller to 49, and a Nakobe Dean to 99. With our swatch cards, we had Jalen Waddle going out to the Miami Dolphins. It's going to be going out to... Oh, where is my Hitchcock? Jahan Dotson to the Washington football team, going out to Jesse Bushel. And we had a Dwayne Eskridge for the Seahawks, going out to Christine. Thank you all for jumping in tonight. I needed a card fix tonight. We had the Isaiah Spiller for the Chargers, going out to Bob Riley. Not the Ballot fam, the Ballot brothers, going out to the Bills, LA Rams Thursday night opening game. One game this year. One. It's not even locked in yet. That could change. We have the hotel, but that's refundable. Carson Strong for the Philadelphia Eagles, going out to Larry. And Mateo Durant for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, my wife's not thrilled that I'm going, but it's like, dude, when are the Bills going to get a primetime opening game against the reigning Super Bowl chance and actually have a chance to like compete? It's pretty exciting. Eagles, Larry with the Devonta Smith, and there's a Puka for the Cincinnati Bengals, going out to John Stabe. It was either that or Kansas City this year, and we just decided let's just go for it. Kay Johnson for the Seattle Seahawks, going out to Christine, and a Pat Freiermuth for the Pittsburgh Steelers, going out to Jeff Guffey. A lot of repeats in the night's break. Then, of course, for the Minnesota Vikings, Kene Nwangwu, going out to Bob Riley. Yeah. You know what, Chris? It's funny. So my role when I go to a game is I go to a game, I'm paying for front row, right? Dude, I even said right up, I'm like, nope. Cheapest tickets you can find. We can get tickets for about $200. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not like the worst. They're like $225 nosebleeds, 500 level. But it's the Coliseum, right? Like it's the, and this is the Tampa Bay Bucks, Stan K with a pretty nice card, Godwin. Like, I just want to go and see LA. I don't know. It's like I said, it's not locked yet. And these flights keep getting canceled. It makes me worried to book a trip like that. We keep going back and forth. You're going to Carolina and Miami. You're flying out twice. Good for you, man. I got to get some of those frequent flyer miles or like a card that supports that. I really may need a GoFundMe to get to get out of prison. It would be for my brother probably anyhow. Let's be honest. I'm well behaved. Ask John Thomas. Ask Jamie. Ask Hitman. I kept him out of trouble. Cleveland Browns and the Niners are going to get the hitless credits. Dan Chumbley and Hans Hofstetter. Matt Staggert is a Niners fan. Definitely Matt. If you know my brother, you know it's definitely Matt. I'm actually, believe it or not, the sane one. I know that's hard to believe. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out. That was fun. That was a little like, I don't know. It gave me my fix, but we got to get back after it. Listen, next Friday, Select Draft Picks comes out. We will be doing some PYTs. We'll be doing some randoms. We'll be doing some mixers. Chronicles, I think, may come out in between. I think Chronicles comes out Wednesday, then Select Draft. So there's a chance we'll be doing some mixers of that. John, I got to know, am I better or worse? John, weren't you a part of Freestyles and 40s? I swear that was you, right? At Hazleton. You met me when I was balling at Hazleton. That's funny. John, I forgot about those days. I didn't forget about those days. I forget we know each other from that. That's awesome. They were some fun nights. That's funny. Yeah, I've calmed down quite a bit. Believe it or not. All right, y'all. I love you, fam. John, good seeing you today. Staggered, if you're in here, good seeing you today. The rest of you, I wish I could see you more. I'll see y'all. Deuces.